Hi teachers, I'm sharing a fun and easy poetry lesson that I know your students will love. This is also a great opportunity to add in some figurative language and vocabulary skills. Let's take a look. I'll start by teaching my students two different types of formula poems, the Cinquain and the Quatrain. I would use this as two different lessons, although you could teach them together. I'll start by using this slide as my teaching slide. We will discuss the definition of Cinquain and then look at the requirements for the formula poem. From there, I will have them look at the example poem and pick out the different parts to make sure that it matches the formula. From here, I'm going to write a Cinquain with my class. Next, I will partner my students and have them write a Cinquain with a friend. And then I will release it to an individual assignment. Now, the great thing about the Cinquain is you can use this as a way for students to respond to their reading. So their Cinquain could be a response to some reading that they've done, individual reading or a class reading. You could also have students include some type of figurative language in their Cinquain to add in an extra layer or an extra skill. You might even have them add in some particular vocabulary that you've been studying. So in that way, I can assign my students to write a Cinquain, also including the figurative language and vocabulary skills so that I can take more than one grade for this writing. Let's take a look at the next pattern, which is the Quatrain. I probably would use this as a separate lesson, as I mentioned before, simply because my students might not be as familiar as they need to with rhyming pattern. Maybe I haven't taught rhyming pattern, but I want to go in and make sure that they understood that before we moved in with this formula poem. So I'll use this as my teaching slide. We will look at the definition for Quatrain. Then I'll spend some time going over rhyming pattern and looking at some examples. I've provided two different rhyming pattern examples here. And this is a good opportunity for you then to, as a class, explore rhyming patterns and write some quatrains together as a class. From there, I'll break my students into partners again. I'll have them write a few quatrains together and then eventually release it as an individual assignment. Again, you can layer your assignments with different skills. I might have my students write a quatrain that could be a response to an article we have read. I might have them write the quatrain as a Valentine's or February themed assignment. I'll want them to include a particular vocabulary word or a type of figurative language. And in this way, again, I'm grading one assignment, but I'm checking off 2 or 3 different skills. So the fun part comes where students are able to choose from a variety of backgrounds that are February themed, Valentine's, Super Bowl, even Chinese New Year. You could also add in your own backgrounds. This is an editable activity. You could have students add their backgrounds, but be sure and have them write the poems first so they don't spend all their time searching for images. This is a great way to incorporate several different skills to touch on and maybe even introduce poetry to students before spring and really get some practice with rhyming patterns. If you have questions, I'm happy to help. I hope this is a great activity for your students.